In my 7th vlog for English 153, I'm going to be doing a close reading from the second part of Audre Lorde's Zami. And per Jess's suggestion, I opened up to a random page and just pointed a sentence. And that's how I came to be close reading a sentence on page 139 of chapter 18. And that sentence is, "Loving Ginger that night was like coming home to a joy I was meant for, and I wondered, silently, how I could not have always known that it would be so." This sentence, specifically the simile comparing sex with Ginger to coming home, complicates my understanding of queer theory, which holds that sexuality is not stable. Before we get into all that, let's look at this sentence closer. And some context here I think is very important. That night with Ginger was Lorde's first sexual encounter with a woman, the first time she had sex with a woman, not specifically Ginger, but any female, and we as readers know that Lorde identifies as lesbian. She had had an affair with man before, but this is her first time having sex with a woman, which is significant. And then zeroing in on that simile, that it was like coming home. Saying something is like coming home is a pretty common figure of speech, but just to be safe, we're going to go to the Oxford English Dictionary's definition of home. To be clear, when there is not an article or a possessive attached to the word home, it can mean the place where one lives or was brought up, with reference to the feelings of belonging, comfort, etc. associated with it, or a refuge, a sanctuary, a place or region to which one feels one naturally belongs or feels at ease. So Lorde feels comfortable with Ginger, and in a larger sense, she feels comfortable with having a woman as a sexual partner. But that's where it gets a little complicated for me as a reader. She could have said that her night with Ginger was like experiencing a joy I was meant for, or discovering a joy I was meant for. But instead she says it was like coming home to a joy I was meant for, like she's returning to somewhere, like she's going back to her origins. Which leads me to interpret that Lorde's homosexuality is a part of her origins, that it's ingrained in her and it always has been. If it's something she can come home to, it's a place she's been before. And home is the place where you started. And this complicates queer theory for me. At least it reminds me that queer theory is not simple, and you really can't have blanket statements associated with it. And I am by no means an expert, and I've been doing a lot of research and I still don't really understand queer theory, but I think it holds that gender and sexuality can change and develop as a person does throughout their life. And queer theory is all about destabilizing sexuality and our perceptions of it. But Lorde's sexuality sounds pretty stable to me if she's saying, she's comparing it to her home, to her origin. And this may put Lorde at odds with queer theory, the implication by that simile that she has always been a lesbian, plain and simple. Or it could just go to show that blanket statements cannot be made about sexuality, that some may change over time, but others, like Lorde, are born with a certain orientation. Maybe it just goes to show that there is no normal, or maybe it just goes to show that I don't really understand queer theory. But yeah.